Welcome to another episode of St. Vincent Untold Stories. To all other people looking in on St. Vincent right now, let me tell you what is going on. We have a regime in power that has us under extreme poverty, and still the other side cannot take the victory. There's an old saying that says, sometimes when you run from the zombie, you put up on the casket. Starman Marco, please remember that a Nigerian was a friend of yours. So we are going to look into all those things on this episode. Big ups to all of my subscribers. And if you are new to the channel, hit the like button, the subscribe button, and hit the bell icon, because you are going to want to see more videos like this one. Son of the king of St. Vincent, a friend will be deported shortly. The system is designed to keep the people poor, and they don't like anyone that is trying to educate the people to get out of poverty. So what they try to do is that they try to block you because they don't want anyone to be independent. Do you remember I told you that certain things were blocked in St. Vincent, and I call a certain service provider, and the sales rep told me that certain things were blocked, and that telecommunications company network. If you look on Untold Stories, you can see some ads at the beginning of the video, in the middle, and at the end, and so forth. And some of those ads tell you about investment, bitcoins, cryptocurrency, how to make money, how to provide a job for your families, and so on. So I wanted to say this. Storm was promoting bitcoins on an interview. And then now, the ads that are displaying how to use the bitcoins are being blocked. When you watch some of these ads carefully on the channels, most of them would tell you, well, we are better than cryptocurrency and so forth. Because most of them are saying, it is an illusion. It is a thing people do to hide their financial status. So it's the easiest thing to come up with to say that they invested in bitcoins and cryptocurrency. Which, while most of the time it is not true. I remember I told you that the banks in St. Vincent are not upgraded. When we have Cash App and PayPal, it is like we can receive money, yes, but we cannot take it out through our banks. So I was wondering which bank the boy went to in St. Vincent that transferred the bitcoins to cash. I'm just asking a simple question. I'm not suggesting anything. We the people want to know. Because if you don't have to work anywhere and you can just invest in some bitcoins, then I am sure the people in St. Vincent living under extreme poverty will want to invest in some bitcoins as well and buy hotels. So the major question is, which bank in St. Vincent is accepting bitcoins right now? If you notice, when Vincentian DJs go live in St. Vincent, they cannot post any cash app number, anything like that. Because it is not possible for them to go to the bank and take out any money from the cash app. So it leaves us to wonder, how did the boy get his from the bitcoins? I know I have a lot of elderly subscribers, and they might not know what I'm talking about. So at Untold Stories, we like to give the truth, and we like to give clarity. So my subscribers, like how you have the raw cash in your hand, and you can just go to the supermarket and buy things with the raw cash. Just now, they would not be using cash anymore. It would be all digital. So, for example, if your employer pays you through the bank, then you don't have to go and jack cash anymore. You can just put a barcode on your cell phone and swipe it across a machine, and it is called digital cash. If my memory serves me right, I remembered how the boy said that he got the bitcoins. He said that a friend reached out to him wanting some lands to buy that was up for sale through bitcoins. But that deal never went through, and the friend decided to reward him still by giving him some bitcoins. So we have to check now and ask, what is the value of a bitcoin? I have a few questions for all the real estate agents in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. For example, like if I have a piece of land to sell and I bring it to your agents and I say, look, sell this for me. How does that deal go? Do I give you a small money upfront to make sure that the land is sold, or do I wait until it is sold to pay you? And how much do I have to pay? Is it a big lump sum like how the boy got from the bitcoins and he did not get the lands to buy for the person? That person has to be a really good Samaritan. I know of situations where persons were given lands because they took care of their elderlies and stayed at their bedside until God said no more. And that is very hard because sometimes you have to wait really long for that to come true. But the boy did not have to wait. All he had to do was look for the land, and if he got it or not, he would still be rewarded in bitcoins. Just recently, the bitcoins fell, and I didn't see the boy speaking about it. I know that if you really love investments, you would say when something is up or when something is down on the stock market. But you see, we live in a place called St. Vincent. Anything the regime says goes, and no one ever questions it. Alright now, the man them probably they are them homers. We catch untold stories you hear. That mash up. How untold stories got hands on the picture with Storm and Nigerian. And how did he get hands on the video with Storm and Nigerian and Marco with other girls on the boat? Do you know that on August 5th, when the king got the object that a drone was flying in the air that caught everything. You see, I know who have the drone, but I am not going to say if I saw anything or not, because remember there's a law or something so that says if you see anything and you don't say anything, then you probably could be charged. You see, from my understanding, Storm is a very friendly guy. But what I don't get is that a Nigerian is being deported and he's not saying anything. My brethren and a so friend move. Friend stand up for friend. You know you could have call up the man and say Nigerian, well the man them looking for you. Just fly out and make the matter for reach in a court and them thing. You knew that the man made several investments. Now, the man might have to sell off his investments very cheap because he might not be able to ever step foot on this land again unless the government changes. When the kings of this land say things like they invested in bitcoins, they are not investigated. But when the small man goes up in the mountain and he plants a little puff puff, he's then investigated. I stated this again. Untold Stories is a neutral. We are not on any sides. If you notice, when we just spoke about Storm, we did not go into any personal details about him because what he does on his time, that's on him. We just know from the information that we got and we showed you that the information was correct, and what we are not sure about, we asked questions. I stated this before and I will state it again. There is a saying that says the humblest calf drink the most milk. But sometimes if you don't lash out, you get no milk at all. So the king came on and he made some statements saying what's trending and what's not trending. And he said that the farmers should be happy that they gained the $1,000. And he was saying that, oh, so you all are not talking about it. I explained to you already how that money came about. I told you that the money was sent in to help out the evacuees. And the regime said that farmers and fisher folks would receive $500 monthly until the middle of December. And they said other workers from the red zone would receive $500 to $400, which some persons are receiving $800 and so forth from the World Food Program. And I have a bubble to burst. So they said the other workers would receive monies monthly. First, they made a payment in June. Then they skipped July. Then they went on to August. So where is the money from July for the other workers? That should come to Western Union from the World Food Program. We are keeping track of you. I told you before that the farmers received their first payment. But what happened is that they skipped July and we kept track of them and we spoke out about it. They thought that no one was keeping a record. Then we said that they would have to pay double, and they decided that they was going to pay the double. At Untold Stories, you only get the truth. So right now, the farmers have already received 3 payments. They received one first, which was $500, and they received one in September, which was a double payment for July and August. So the $1,000 that they paid, it is not the first payment. Ask Abuto Caesar if I'm not correct. Look, the big man is boasting about the $1,000, and the other side is sitting back. You should be up under there asking him, where did the $1,000 come from for you to pay? Did it come from your administration? I came from overseas to help them out. So even some farmers bought into the trick when the regime said that they paid the thousands, and they did not come out on September 9th, which they could have come out still, because they can't just stop your $1,000 like that. You have your farmer's ID, your name is on the list, and you met the requirement to get your monies. So even though if you had different issues to join the march, then it would not have been a problem. It is not like the money belongs to the regime, so they could stop you from getting it. Yes, they could stop you, but you can put in a claim and said they took off my name because of such and such, and show it to the United Nations. You remember I played that video with the man from Leeward saying that he's tired of losing. He wants to be on the winning side, and the man is speaking the truth. For years, the other side has been coming up with some lame arguments about missing monies and so forth, which they don't have any proof of. You need to try a different strategy now. Go into the ghettos, go doorstep to doorstep, highlight the extreme poverty conditions that the Vincentians are living under. Show the old houses, ask the families what they had to eat for the week and so forth. Right now, the main issue on the list is extreme poverty. Even if you take the job or you don't take it, we still have to go back and face poverty tomorrow. You saw that Jomo and the regime had a falling out. But there are some people still coming on social media, and the other side, saying, oh, we can't trust Jomo, we can't this, we can't that. Failing to understand that Jomo could be a key element because he was with the regime before. He knows a lot about them. So he can teach the other side a thing too. So some people now are stuck in the middle, not knowing which side to choose. Because they have the other side losing all the time and not coming up with different strategies. So some are afraid to leave the ship of the king and go on that other side. Because they are not confident that the other side would ever win. So they would prefer to live under extreme poverty, take the lumber and the galvanize and the road work twice per year than to be on the losing side and get nothing at all. That is why now the other side needed to go back to the drawing board and come up with a plan. It is just like September 9th when other people went to march. Who came up with the idea that someone was having a 9 night? So candles were lit. To be a great leader, you have to be a chief. Just imagine one man in St. Vincent is telling the people when to talk and when not to talk. And it seems to be working. If he steps down and anyone Safa takes over and we have an invasion from outside, then we have to surrender. Because if one man is so powerful, much less to outsiders. Just imagine that man walk through that crowd and got that object. It goes to show you that that man have no fear. So he needs someone like him to remove him. With that being said, I just want to big up the entire population in St. Vincent, the regional islands and the international countries who are supporting and praying for us during these difficult times. We thank you. I'm out.